Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Onyx Eyes. So today I planned on starting the first of a 3-part series on labor, but after a mundane conversation I had the other day went off the rails, I realized there's another important issue I need to cover first. So I want to talk about the importance of clarity when starting a conversation. If it's a conversation about a general inquiry or someone's opinion or outlook, or is it a debate? Now, YouTube channels tend to be very one-sided conversations, but they can function as both. If it's a rebuttal to another video or to something in the comments section, it can be a debate, but for the most part, YouTube channels are just deep dives on things people find interesting and letting their opinions be known. This channel is going to be more of the latter. Now, I'm totally open to debates, and that's what the comment sections are for. But the main purpose of this channel is for me to share my advice for others in hopes that they will look at the world differently and a bit more critically through different lenses in hopes of discovering something more and newer truths and thus growing. I constantly watch channels and read articles by people with different and foreign experiences from my own because it helps me realize the blind spots in my worldview, and it enhances my outlook of the world and how it functions. Now, luckily for me, this format gives me the opportunity to be more concise and clear with my thoughts and points because, okay, confession time. I'm a rambler. I tend to jump from point to point and sometimes forgetting that other people don't live in my head and thus they lack the threads they need to follow me. So then I have to circle back sometimes to pick them up, and the conversation ends up taking 5, sometimes even 10 minutes longer than is needed to. This does happen, but not as often as some people think, because most of the time it's like the situation that birthed this video today. If you ask someone their opinion on something or about what transpired in a particular incident, let them tell you. You probably will have questions, and those questions may be answered by the time they're done. But if the question's not needed for you to continue to follow the narrative, then let it go. A good example are movies and TV shows. Take Game of Thrones, for example. You're introduced to a lot of people, kingdoms, and adorable direwolves, but you don't need to know everything about them to follow the narrative. How many times have you been watching something with the person asking questions every 2 minutes? You both just started watching the show at the same time. I don't know, Aaron. Watch and see. Getting back to conversations. If something seems far-fetched or unrealistic to you, fine. You didn't ask this person for a concrete blueprint to achieve something. You asked them their thoughts or opinions on the subject. You should expect a lot of generalization and a degree of begging the question. I want to know what you think first, then I want to know how you came to that conclusion. Now, this is very important because if someone's laid out their basic points already, then addressing the rebuttal to one of those points could instead address many of those points. For example, whenever you call customer service, it's routine that they will ask you different types of information before they even ask you what you need. And this can be very frustrating because you might not be in the right department, or they start spouting policy that you already know because you already called in about this issue. They didn't let you finish that time either, and your lunch break was almost over, so you had to stop. And clearly no one took notes because the problem still isn't fixed. And now I'm spending my day off calling in again because you still won't stop interrupting and just let me finish saying what the issue is and what I'd like done about it. Well, don't interrupt someone with multiple questions because it throws them off their train of thought. If they go off subject or use some analogy you don't understand, look, it's fine to say, I'm not following or you lost me. But if you just don't agree with their logic or think you already know what they're going to say, that's fine. Let them continue. This is a fact-finding mission of what they think, not what you believe. You know what you believe. If you want to tell them what you believe, just tell them. Don't ask them, then interrogate them every step of the way. That's not how you operate in good faith. That's not even how you properly debate someone. That's how you get into an argument. And I'm not about that life, mainly because it's counterintuitive for trying to understand someone. Being an open and active listener is one of the best ways to get to know a person and understand how they think and reason, and that is a great skill to sharpen and exercise. Now, I'd like to challenge you to try this exercise. I've used it in the past, and I think it will do a great job of helping you to truly understand someone's point of view, especially those you don't agree with. The next time you ask for the opinion of someone you don't agree with, I want you to accept everything they tell you as 100% true. They are the all-knowing teacher and you are the information-starved student. If you're able to do this, that means You're not thinking about contradictions or rebuttals. You're just thinking about what are they saying and how does that make you feel. You notice how they move from one point to the other, and by doing this, you get a genuine idea of how they think, how they feel, and as well as how they reason and what's most important to them. After they're done, now go back and interrogate what you've taken in with critical thinking. When you do this, you'd be surprised to discover that most people's reasoning skills are very strong and competent, but some of the information's just off. Not even necessarily wrong, just misconstrued. That's why semantics matter so much. But the key point is this. Now you can see the path your reply should take to get them to connect with you and for your ideas to take a root. You can use that same path to steer them in the right direction of the truth and show them their errors rather than having them point them out. Now I know it sounds the same, but it's not. It's the difference between pointing out to a friend the red flags of a cheating partner or asking them out to dinner at a restaurant where the cheater regularly takes their side piece for them to be caught red-handed instead. Another benefit to this exercise is that when you sit and truly give someone your full attention, they can tell. And they'll be more likely to do the same for you when you reply, and what you say will hold more weight with them. Basically, they won't just blow you off. They'll mull it over, it'll stick with them because they want to reciprocate. It doesn't cost them anything, and it's been a pleasant, fun experience getting to chat with someone about your thoughts and ideas, and they don't see you as an enemy they have to keep their guard up around. You're just this kind, interesting, open person with some kooky ideas. Now you may be skeptical of this, but I can tell you firsthand in my many years in the service industry, talking to strangers in lines or in elevators or at concerts or when you're driving people home from a rough night out, it works. It delivers productive and honest and open discourse. See, the goal isn't getting them to change their mind on the spot. You want them to open their mind to the possibility of changing it. Minds change over time. Now this channel is designed to get you to think more openly. Stop thinking about why things can't happen and instead think about what can we do to make it so. Look, we currently live in a time of rapid, unparalleled change, and we're adapting to it constantly. The younger generation doesn't have the same limited thoughts and experiences as the older generations did. They're more willing to embrace and bring about change. I doubt there's anyone watching this right now that's not in favor of radical change in this world. We have the resources and the means to do great things for the human race. We know it's possible, and it has been for a long time. We just need to believe and get it done. We have the resources and the means to do great things for the human race. And we know it's possible, and it has been for a long time. We just need to believe it and get out of our own heads and get our own way so we can do so. Take a long, hard look at the world and all its faults and all its problems. Don't be afraid to hope and expect that we can do better, because we can, and most importantly, we deserve it. Lately, I've been watching a lot of PBS Crash Course. It's a great channel. I suggest you go. It's a ton of great information. But the Crash Course on Philosophy has probably been one of the most important things that's happened to my life lately. You know, we all think about things, sometimes going to the deep dives, it can be a lot. You're tired, you got a lot going on, but I promise you this would be in a very important channel for you to watch. It's a great playlist. I'm going to put the link down in the description, and it's going to get you to look at a lot of things in your life. You might think you already know what's important to you, what your values are, but deep down, you might not have really taken a big overview of it. This channel that playlist rather, will do a good job of helping you really put a magnifying glass over it. You might discover things about yourself that they'll be interesting. If anything, you're going to be better off for it. You will know yourself better, and the better you know yourself, the better your life will always be, because there is just something about knowing who you truly are, having that conviction, and that's something you'd be able to control in life when you can't control a lot of it. So I'm going to put it down there. Please check it out, and if you do watch it, let me know what you thought about it. Anywho, we're going to be back next week. I'm going to get that first video started. I'm super excited about it. I discovered a lot of things about labor I never thought about or really considered until then, so Looking forward to it. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below. Have a great rest of your day. See ya.